Yo guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here. I'm just chilling, drinking this chlorophyll aloe superfood drink. And I know it's been a really long time since I made a video, but I wanted to get back into it because I figured that right now, with everything that's going on in the world, there are a lot of people who are a little lost, confused, or searching for what they want to do in their lives. And I also think that if you have the time, then this is actually the best time where you could really hone in and take advantage of the opportunity that we've been given. I mean, right now, everyone's staying at home. We're all in solitude. Businesses are closing down. A lot of people lost their jobs. You can't hit up the gym, you can't hit up the beach or the mall, and we're supposed to be staying at home practicing social distancing.
Thank you for coming, chin chin, chin chin, chin chin. Thank you, chin chin guys, chin chin, chin chin, chin chin.
Since for some of us, there's really nothing else to do at this point, that is precisely why today I want to go over my ultimate goal setting process with you so that you could take this time while you're social distancing and create the goals and the ultimate vision for your life. This video will go over what I like to call the life journal, and it's like the exercises that I learned in this process, they really changed my life. Like, I actually already have a few videos of a lot of these exercises, but honestly, it's really good to just go over them over and over again. So in this video, I'm basically gonna go through the entire process and all of the different self-improvement and goal-setting exercises that I use to set my life up for success. And I gotta say that after I started doing these different exercises, I became literally like 100 times more productive, and really it just made me enjoy life more, because when you work towards something that you really want and something that you help to create, it really just makes life more enjoyable. And the awesome thing about having a process or a system like the one that I'm gonna go through in this video is that it makes you write your goals out and plan how to actually accomplish them. So it forces you to strategize and get clear with what you want out of life. So last year, my main goal was to become an accredited investor and invest into a startup that I believe will be extremely successful. I wrote that down in December of 2018. And in July of 2019, on my birthday, I accomplished that goal by investing into a cryptocurrency startup called Snowball Money. And I'll leave a link in the description to their website if you want to check that out. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, or you really don't know what you're doing with your life, or you want more clarity and direction in your life, then you definitely want to watch this video and go through the workshop with me. One thing before we start, I do want to let you know that this isn't going to be one of those quick videos telling you to create SMART goals and that's it. This is going to be an entire goal setting workshop. Like, if you are interested in setting goals in a way that will almost guarantee that you actually follow through and accomplish them in 2020, then click the link below and you could download the template that has all of the information I'm about to go over already written in it in a Google Doc that I created just for you. Okay, so from what I've gathered over the past 8 years of setting goals and living your best life is that you could distill the process down into 4 steps. Step number 1 is creating your vision and your goals. Step number 2 is breaking down your vision and goals into actionable steps. Step number 3 is evaluating your progress on a weekly and daily basis. And step number 4 is re-evaluating your original goals and vision so that you don't lose track of the purpose behind it all. So starting with step 1, creating your vision and goals. There are a ton of incredible exercises you could do for this. I have 6 of my favorite exercises that I do every single year to help me get as much clarity as I can in the direction I want my life to go in. And these exercises are your perfect day, create your future, the wheel of life plus life audit, your ultimate vision, and creating a vision board. Now, once you have your big picture goals and your visions, and you know what you want and why you want it, then you move on to part 2, which is breaking them down into actionable steps. This is accomplished by creating routines that you can actively do each and every day and night so that you accomplish the things that you set out for yourself. Then, once all of that is done and you're actually actively doing what you need to do every day, you do a quick evaluation each and every week and each day to make sure that you're staying on track. So a couple quotes that I really like that go with your perfect day exercise are: vision is the starting point of all high performance. Where the head goes, the body follows. And finally, life will pay whatever price you ask of it. Okay, so the first exercise that I do is called your perfect day. This exercise is awesome because it forces you to get really clear with the type of life that you want to be living. Also, it's a lot like the type of mental rehearsal and visualization techniques that top athletes and businesswomen, businessmen do. And the first part of the perfect day exercise, first thing that you do is you set up some rules for your life. Super easy, right? And now these are your rules for success to make sure that your perfect day really is perfect. And a lot of these are boundaries that you can create so that you know when to say no to things. A lot of times we always say yes to everything because we're trying to be nice, but a lot of times it comes at the expense of our own well-being. So let's do part one and write down our rules for success. And remember, you have a Google Doc that you could download in the description below to write out your answers. So a couple of rules for success that I wrote down are: 1, I will only work on projects that I'm excited and passionate about. Number 2, I will never work with somebody who I have a bad feeling about. Number 3 is that I will only work with people who I would enjoy being with all the time. Number 4 is that I will base my life around truth, positivity, love, and abundance. Number 5 is that I will hire out when I can for the work that I really do not like to do. Number 6 is that I will weigh out big decisions. Number 7 is that I will take my time with things, and if I feel rushed, then I will ask for more time. Number 8 is, along with asking for more time, if I need it, I will also ask for clarification on things that I do not understand or cannot wrap my head or my brain around. If I don't understand it, I won't do it. So you could copy my rules or you could create your own. It's totally up to you. And if you want, you could pause the video right now and write down your rules right now. So now we could actually go into creating your perfect day. So here's what you need to know about the perfect day exercise. Number 1, it is vitally important that as you write out your day, you do not think about how you're going to achieve this lifestyle. This part comes later and needs to be done separately. Number 2 is each answer should supremely resonate with you. It should be an absolute hell yeah. Number 3 is don't try to fit your current situation into the new one. Number 4 is that this is a day that you could repeat for the rest of your life. So no crazy unsustainable activities, or you won't want it to be all about fun and messing around. That's not very fulfilling and pretty draining on your health after a few days or a few weeks. Number 5 is that you have to really feel yourself doing these or doing the things that you write down. You should use your senses. You should ask yourself, what do I see? What do I smell? What do I hear? What do I touch? What do I feel? And number 6 is that if there's no limitations or consequences, what would your ideal average day look like? So in other words, what would your ideal average day look like if there wasn't any geographical or health or relationship or financial limitations, and you could do it over and over again and not get sick of it? And remember, the more detailed and specific you get, the more likely it is that you'll create the outcome that you desire. I really like the quote by Lily Tomlin: all my life I wanted to be somebody. Now I see I should have been more specific. So be specific in your answers. And to do this exercise, you just go through and answer the questions in the questionnaire. The actual questionnaire that I put together has 50 questions on it. I'll go over 14 questions that sum it up just so you get the gist of it. Then you could pause the video and go through all 50 questions on your own. And if you haven't downloaded the template, I have the template, it's free. You can download it in the description below. Okay, so here are the questions for the perfect day exercise. Number 1 is, where would you live? personally, for me, I would live in Colorado, in Denver, close to my friend Stefan. What would your house look like? It would be a 2-2 or a nice house with a bunch of entrepreneurs. What time would you wake up? I'd wake up around 8 a.m. What's the feeling in the body when you wake up? I'd feel refreshed and ready to take on the day and excited to crush my goals. When you sit up out of bed, what and who do you see? I see a beautiful view of the city or a beautiful girl. What life purpose would you strive towards? I would strive towards helping people understand finances and help them to reach financial freedom through Cryptolete and my YouTube channel. I would also strive towards helping people realize their true potential and inspire people through my personal brand. I'd help people get better sleep and improve their health through Cryptorays. And I'd also help improve businesses through my agency, Tommy Digital. What would you do in the morning? You know, in the morning, I would brush my teeth, take multivitamin, use the bathroom, take a shower, get dressed, go over all of my goals for the day, probably make a smoothie, and work on my most important task for the day. When you leave the house, where would you go? Personally, I'd stay in my house because that's where my office is. If I leave it to go get food or to go for a walk or to exercise outside. Number 9 is, how do you carry yourself? Well, I carry myself with confidence and as someone with direction, drive, and a sense of purpose. Number 10 is, what do you do for work? For me, at work, I would create content for my businesses, advise and manage different aspects of my businesses, look for trade setups, or review my current trades that I look at the market. I would answer emails and reply to posts on social media, be teaching people how to trade and achieve financial freedom by teaching them about cryptocurrencies. I'd also be attending conferences and meetings to promote and expand my businesses. Number 11 is, what time do you finish work? And on my perfect day, I honestly can't say when I would finish work by. I would definitely stop working by 10 p.m. so that I could get ready for bed and be in bed by 11:30. I mean, I love what I do, so I don't necessarily want to stop working, but I do need to go to sleep, and sleep is pretty important for me. So sometime between 8 and 10 p.m. is when I would prefer to be done with my work on my perfect day. I have my vacation times planned out as well, so I know that I will take a break and recharge during those times. So honestly, working all day and night when I'm not on vacation isn't really an issue for me. Number 12 is, what are your relationships like? For me, my relationships are great with everyone. People respect me and how I choose to live my life. I'm friendly with everyone. In my perfect day scenario, I would have a girlfriend who I adore in every single way. Number 13 is, when you do go to bed, do you have anyone with you? And I would go to bed around 11 to 11:30 each night. In my perfect day, I would be going to bed with the woman of my dreams, a super hot girl, or maybe more, I don't know. It's 2020, let's get with it. Or I would just be going to sleep by myself. And number 14 is, what are the last 3 things you think about before you go to sleep? The last 3 things that I think about before I go to sleep are how incredibly lucky, thankful, and grateful I am to be where I am, how beautiful and amazing this girl or maybe girls are, and how I'm crushing life and how I'm going to dominate the next day. That's the perfect day exercise. And you know, I'm being like super honest with everything here. And I think that's really important. Like, be super honest with yourself. Like, do not hold back. Like, don't try to conform yourself into society's standards. You know, if you do something like this, or if you like really know like what you want, like, be truthful with yourself and be congruent with your, you know, words and thoughts, or thoughts, words, and actions. Like, that's really important, because then you could be your true authentic self and not really have to apologize for it. So that's just a side tangent regarding how to live life. And that is the perfect day exercise. And just as a side note, before I made this video, I actually went over the system, and I noticed that last year, for one of the questions that asked about what your wardrobe looks like, I wrote down that my wardrobe is mostly solid colors with lots of really comfortable black shirts. And funny enough, I found this company I really like. They're called Cuts. You know, I literally just got like 5 of their black shirts delivered today, actually. I discovered them a few months back. But that's pretty cool. It's a cool little thing to show you that what you create, you know, does present itself to you when you do things like this. And the last thing that I want to say about the perfect day exercise is that you could also have your perfect vacation day exercise. For me, my perfect vacation day, I would be totally submerged in whatever I'm doing. I wouldn't really be thinking about work, and it would be like maximum enjoyability whenever I'm on vacation. It would just be totally submerged in that, and then I'll get back to work whenever I get back home or to the office or whatever. So you could also have your perfect vacation day as well. And honestly, I love that exercise. That's actually just the beginning though, because once you have your perfect day down, now you're gonna wanna start actually getting on creating your vision and your goals to help you get to your perfect day. And this is done in exercise 2, which is called creating your future. Okay, so now we're going into creating your future exercise. A couple quotes that I really like about this is that the vision connects what can be to what is. And the people who are crazy enough to think they could change the world are the ones that do. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. So now that you know what you want your perfect day to look like, we could bring it more into reality by describing what you want to get done in your life so that you could end up living out your perfect day. So with this exercise, you write down the things that you want to happen. So we aren't at the point of figuring out how they're going to happen yet. That comes later. For the create your future exercise though, you just answer the following questions. It's super easy. Once again, you could download the file with the questions on them to do it yourself in the description. But yeah, basically you just start out envisioning New Year's Day, 20 years from now, and then you just answer the following questions. What's the year? Number 2 is how old will you be? The year is gonna be 2040, I'm gonna be 49, and then how old will your loved ones be? I talked about my dad and my mom and my sisters and brother. And then what are all of the things that you want to have done by that time? So 20 years out, what's the year? How old will you be? How old will your loved ones be? And what are all of the things that you want to have done by that time? For me, by the time I'm 49, I want to have Cryptolete be a multi-million-dollar a year business that has a wide range of products and services that helps people reach financial freedom. I want to have an investment portfolio worth over $10 million. I want to have gotten married and have kids. I want to own several real estate properties, have my fleet of Teslas with my Tesla Uber business, have visited at least 10 destinations off of my bucket list, have an awesome personal brand that inspires people to be the best versions of themselves, have Cryptorays be a multi-million-dollar a year business if I didn't get bought out by that time. I want to have a place in New York City, Miami, and Colorado. I'll have multiple employees who work full-time for my different businesses. I want to have impacted at least 10 million people's lives through Cryptolete and Cryptorays and maybe Tommy Digital, other businesses, and my personal brand by the time I'm 48. Maybe I'll have my dollar cost averaging app and Viola Health be a thing as well. I want to have enough money in the bank and in my investments that I won't ever have to worry about money, and I'm able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. And that was my answer. Now, once you answer those 4 questions for 20 years down the road, you want to answer them again, but this time make it for 10 years down the road. And then you want to do it again for 5 years down the road. And then finally for 1 year from now. The reason you do this is because it helps you prioritize your goals in terms of what you should be working on right now. And it also gives you that big picture view of your goals of what you want to accomplish way, way down the road. So the questions were, what's the year? How old will you be? How old will your loved ones be? And what are all of the things that you want to have done by that time? And that's the create your future exercise. So once you have your perfect day and your create your future exercise is done, the next thing you want to do is the circle of life. This is an awesome exercise on self-awareness, and it's important to be self-aware because sometimes you put really big goals down, but you might be using them to cover up other areas of your life that need attention. And so we're gonna go into the circle of life exercise now. Okay, so for the circle of life exercise, you simply rate how satisfied you are in 12 areas of your life. Super simple. 1 being the least satisfied and 10 being the most satisfied. You go through this list and give your ratings of where you are right now. So you have your health, physical activity, home cooking, home environment, relationships, social life, adventure/lifestyle, spirituality, creativity, finances, career, and education. Right now, I'm a 7 to 10 in every single category except for finances, and that tells me that this is where I need to focus to be on for this year. Some people are all right in their finances, but their physical activity or social lives suck, and that is where they should put their focus on for the year. Maybe your home environment sucks and finances or education is a way out of that situation. So this is totally based on the individual. Now, once you have the rating for each of the areas down, what you want to do is write out what the ideal state of that area would be. Then, when you have those things written down, you want to write down the one thing that you could do for each area that could help you take it to the next level. So if you're good and you don't feel like you need to work on it, anything in particular right now, then you could just write already good or something like that, because you don't really need to change anything if it's going really well. And that's the circle of life exercise. It's super easy, but it gives you more self-awareness of what you really need to work on and what you should be focusing on. One note for that exercise though is that if you did score a 3 or under in any of the areas, you could do the optional part, and this is to think about how your beliefs may be contributing to these low scores and ways in which you could overcome them. But that's a whole nother very deep dive exercise, but it's definitely something you could do if you find yourself in a 1 or a 2 in any of these categories. And if you want to do that, then you could choose to write down your beliefs, and then you could write down new beliefs that better serve you. And if you do that, then you could post these healthy beliefs in places where you could see them, like your bathroom mirror, and basically just recite them every day so that you get that ingrained in your head. Personally, for me, I remember a long time ago, I was very self-conscious, and I would always say you're awesome, stay awesome. That was my thing that I would just continually say to myself, just to say, amp myself up and say, no, Lewis, you are awesome. Because my internal belief, subconsciously, and I guess also consciously, was that I wasn't awesome. So I just basically said, you're awesome, you're awesome, you're awesome every single day, every time I looked in the mirror, and it actually really helped. So that's definitely something you could do to better, have better belief systems. And just as a recap, at this point, you created your perfect day, and this is the day that you will strive towards creating. You created a vision for your future and a clearer picture of what you want to accomplish over the next 1, 5, 10, and 20 years. And you have identified the ideal states you would want to be in for the different dimensions of your life, and evaluated your current satisfaction in these different areas of your life. Plus, you came up with one actionable step you could take for each dimension of your life to take it to the next level. So now you'll get even more detailed on the different areas of your life, and you already have a basic understanding of what you desire, at this point. So now you're going to solidify that by writing down in clear sentences, basically the ultimate vision for each area of your life. Then you'll go into your why, which is your purpose. Your why is your purpose. And the reason this is important is because you might have a clear vision for your future, but without a strong why behind it, it's almost what's the point, And this is where I find a lot of goal setting exercises fall short, actually. And yet I find it to be super effective at creating the momentum needed to just push through hard times when you're on your path to creating your perfect day. So let's go into chapter 5, which is your ultimate vision exercise. All right, so now we're moving into your ultimate vision exercise, and this exercise is awesome. It's divided into 3 steps. The first step is that you create your ultimate vision for the different areas of your life. Then you write down your identity, and then you write down your why. So for each of the following areas, what you do is you write down your specific ultimate vision in full form sentences. You could use the sentences here, or you could create your own. So what you do is you start off with your physical body, which is your health and your fitness, and this is your physical power, your world-class health and fitness. It's your appearance, your endurance, your speed, and how you feel when your body is operating at optimal efficiency and effectively. It's your radiance, it's your vitality, it's all of that. So you write down in clear sentences what you want your ultimate vision of your physical health to look like. So for me, my ultimate vision is that my weight is 180 pounds and my body fat is 9%. My muscles are defined. My body is muscular and in shape. My energy levels are soaring. When I look in the mirror, I smile and I see a confident man who carries himself with ease. And I will live to be at least 140 years old with awesome health. And after you write down what you want your physical body to be like, that's when you go into your mind and emotions. Your mind includes your mindset, your attitudes, your beliefs, and your philosophy of life. And your emotions are how you experience life. So here's mine. Every day, I feel energetic, alive, gracious, thankful, confident, excited, happy, proud, loved, determined, and at peace. My mindset is sharp and positive, and my attitude is optimistic, and I believe that anything is possible when you have the right skills or know the people with the right skills. I have a great life, and my philosophy about life is that you could create anything that you want. And once you have that down, you move on to your relationships, and that's passion and love. And there's no amount of money that can provide the highest of highs that true love and passion could provide for your life. And relationships, they really amplify your experience of life, and who you share your life with is perhaps the most important decision you can make in your life. Who you end up with could lead to a path of emotional and financial ruin, or it could help support and empower you. So remember that there are no right or wrongs here, and maybe you want to get married, or maybe you want to stay single and date. Everyone's life plan is different. It's completely up to you, and a lot of the times these answers end up changing down the road anyway. So for me, in my ideal relationship, we would be both extremely attracted to each other and sexually free. We're physically, mentally, and emotionally satisfied. I absolutely adore the one that I am with. She's kind, sweet, loving, caring, has goals and ambitions, and is working towards them or working towards figuring out what they are. She's positive and a great communicator. She's open to trying out many things. She's smart and can be witty too. We communicate openly and aim to reconcile any problems or disagreements we might have. We go on adventures together. She is healthy and she takes care of her health, and her health is a priority in her life. Now, if you wrote down or thought about what you want out of a partner, think about what that type of person would want out of a partner themselves. So are you that person? Does your vision represent that person? Try to be the type of person that your ideal partner would want, as long as, of course, it flows with what you actually want yourself. So after you do that, then you move on to your finances. And this is talking about absolute financial freedom. I mean, money's a part of life. It's part of society. You need money for your retirement. You should put down whatever inspires you and excites you. And you need to write down the numbers. What are the numbers? What would you do with that money as well? So for me, I make at least $12 million a year. And that's equal to $1 million every month. I have a net worth of over $100 million. I invest in cryptocurrencies, stocks, real estate, and companies and startups. My main sources of income come from my investments, and I also get millions of dollars from Cryptolete and Cryptorays, YouTube, Tommy Digital, my dollar cost averaging app, Viola Sleep, Life Journal, and the Plant Club. Cryptolete sells courses and subscriptions, the VIP Telegram group, one-on-one mentorships, crypto summits, ads and promos on Instagram, merchandise, and a lot more. It may even turn into a fund one day. Cryptorays and Viola Health, they sell glasses and accessories. Tommy Digital is a huge agency. My YouTube channel, it helps to provide other people a ton of value that helps to enrich their lives and learn about finance. Plant Club sells plants. And I will use some of my money to provide for others in a philanthropic way by providing healthy, organic food to kids who are disadvantaged, yet striving to be better. And I will mostly use my money to invest. I'll also buy rental properties, my own apartments, cars, travel, personal development, supplements, chiropractors, personal trainers, chefs, and food, of course, with my money so I could be the healthiest version of myself. And after you create your finance goals, you create the goals for your career, which is your business, or basically whatever you want your career to be ultimately. Some words that go over with your career are leader or inspiration or helper. And this is where you will be spending, the majority of your life is in your career. So your career should really align with your values and your purpose, and it should make you happy. I mean, It should also help you to reach your financial goals clearly. And I actually just talked a lot about this with my finances, so I'm going to go on to the next thing, which is my family, which you could also count as your extraordinary family life. And you might not have the best relationships with your family, but regardless of the situation you and your family have, you should have a positive relationship with them. For you though, you know, like it doesn't even need to be for them, it's just for you, because having unresolved family issues, it could really affect a lot of other things in your life. So what I wrote down for this is that my family life is really, really good. I'm in constant contact with my mom and my dad at least once a week, or at least 4 times a month. And I take my dad to John Mayer concerts every time he's in town, personal development seminars and health retreats. I'm on good terms with all of my family. And what you want to do is after you write out how you want your family life to be, then you can move on to your friends. So I wrote down that my friends are successful high achievers. They are optimistic, outgoing, friendly, other entrepreneurs. They're in the same careers as me, whether that's trading or anything in the finance or the startup space. They're also health people like Ben Greenfield and Drew Canole and Dave Asprey and Rob Wolf and Sean Croxton. And for my health friends, I can meet them at Paleo FX or the Biohacker Summit, Runga retreats, and more. And also I visit my friends at health retreats, at meetups, entrepreneur retreats, masterminds, all that good stuff. And for the most part, we like to talk about higher level things like ideas and how to make the world a better place. They're also on their paths to improving themselves as well. And my friends, they are good people. So finally, after you write down all of those different visions, you want to actually get down to the spiritual connection. And that's the connection with basically the unforeseen nature, the true nature of the universe. Very famous quote, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience, but we are spiritual beings having a human experience." But basically, life is uncertain. You know, there will always be adversity, challenges, things that are unknown, unjust, and things that could happen for no rhyme or reason other than the fact that it's life. And you could, basically, a good analogy that I heard is that you could plow your field, you could plant your seeds, and you could grow your plants to perfection, but the day before you go to harvest, there could be a hailstorm that wipes out your crops. I mean, how are you going to be able to deal with such things? That's where a spiritual practice comes in. If you reach a higher level of higher consciousness or enlightenment, whatever, that can enrich your life and really empower you in ways that not many other things can, you know? So spiritual practices, things like yoga or meditation or other forms of spiritual practice, they simply enhance and amplify your entire experience of life. So what I wrote down is that I'm spiritually connected to the universe, nature, myself, and all beings around me while being centered and at peace. I am grounded, I align my chakras and strive for enlightenment. I continually improve and push out good energy, positive vibes, and healing forces. I celebrate each and every moment of the day, and I live in the present, and I live with an open heart. I live my purpose each and every day, and I make a contribution to the lives of others each and every day. And I improve the world, and I live in harmony with nature. I fight for the organic flow of things and the peaceful state of nature and the world. Practices such as yoga and meditation, they help me tap into my spiritual self, and health retreats like Runga also help. And that was the spiritual vision. And after that, that's pretty much it. That's the ultimate vision exercise. And you could take your answers, just your answers, and you could print them out on a sheet of paper and look at them, once a month. And that really helps. That really helps to bring you back into a place and remind you of what you're striving towards. But that's only one aspect of this entire goal setting process. There are much deeper levels to explore, and that's your purpose. And your purpose is your why. So let's go into that. Okay, so now we are getting into your purpose and your why. This is super important. And just like the other exercises, I have a couple quotes for your purpose and your why. Believe in your heart. Believe in your heart that you're meant to live a life full of passion, full of purpose, magic, and miracles. And that was by Roy T. Bennett. So basically you have to ask yourself this: why do you wake up in the morning? What's the point of going to the gym, being healthy and in shape, making money, or really anything if there is no purpose behind it? Like, what are you going to give, and how are you going to contribute to the world and to society? What is the why behind you doing what you do? Your purpose is your why. So everything on earth has a purpose, and you do too. So if you figure this out, it could give you immense fulfillment. Having a purpose helps to guide you and helps you to make tough decisions in life. So no matter how skillful you are, you're going to come up against things that you can't control. And by having a purpose, it'll give you more meaning in life, and it'll help you to focus, and it'll help give you certainty. So your purpose will explain to you the benefits you will get from fulfilling your vision. And you might not even know what it is, but even having the trust that you will find one could help drive your life to be better. So I know a lot of times people think, oh, you gotta create a vision, you gotta create a purpose. It's crazy, it's a lot to ask for, but creating your purpose doesn't have to be difficult. In fact, it could be extremely easy, and creating your purpose could be as simple as deciding what you want it to be. You don't have to wait for something to hit you. All you need to do is really just make a decision and write down how you want to live your life. You could just write down what makes sense and what feels right for you. That could be your purpose. Remember, nothing's set in stone here. Your purpose, just like your vision and your goals, they could evolve over time. And the most important thing is to just pick something. As long as you have something, that is what's important. So basically what you want to do for your purpose is to think about how you want to live your life. Who do you want to serve? What do they get out of it? And what you'll get out of it. So simple purpose, my purpose. My purpose is to live my life to its fullest extent, to die without regrets, to experience as much as I can in this life, and to give out love and make people's lives better. I give people tools and knowledge to help them reach financial freedom through Cryptolete and my YouTube channel. I help people be healthier through Cryptorays. I help to empower and inspire people through my personal brand. I share optimism and am a beacon of light in the world, and I push out positivity. And if I get back into health, then my purpose will also include helping people to get healthy and to help them reach their peak health and to get as much real foods into the hand of as many people as possible. Because that's something that's really important to me, because I know how important eating real whole foods are to the individual and the collective unit and the planet as a whole. So if you want, you can actually pause the video right now and write out your purpose. Otherwise, the next step in the process is to write out your identity. Okay, so a couple quotes on identity is that in the social jungle of human existence, there's no feeling of being alive without a sense of identity. That's by Eric Erickson. And the second quote is never be bullied into silence, never allow yourself to be made a victim, and accept no one's definition of your life, but define yourself. That's by Harvey Fierstein. And then the third one by Steve Jobs, of course, again, is don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown out your own inner voice. So the purpose of this is that when you die, people will remember you for who you were, not what you had. People don't talk about your house or your car. They talk about the qualities you had and your character. Your identity is who you are. So you want to ask yourself, who am I? What qualities do I have? If I was truly living my best life, my absolute best life, how would I be different than I am today? And if I'm a world leader in my field, how would I be different than I am today? And how about my job and my career? And at this point, you know what your ultimate visions are for the different aspects of your life. So now what you have to think about is the identity of that person. What would that person have? Would they be a hard worker? Would they always strive for greatness? Would they care about people, city, nature, or animals? How would they feel on a daily basis? How are they physically and mentally? What's their outlook on the world look like? What's their philosophy of life? All of these questions help to shape your identity. So here's everything that I wrote down for my identity. Basically, I am a person who strives to be the best at whatever they do, to put out the best content, to make the best products, to have the best interactions with people. I'm a hard, dedicated, intelligent worker. I create awesome things that actually help people. I am grateful, happy, fulfilled on a daily basis. I'm financially free. I am an inspiration and a role model to others. I'm successful, I'm strong, I'm rational, I'm someone who continually improves himself. I don't settle, I only allow for win-wins or no deal. My motto in life is the best or nothing. I follow a win-win approach to life. I strive for greatness and attain my goals and make my visions a reality. And I feel proud of who I am and what I've accomplished and what I've given. And I will be fully alive and live to be at least 140 years old in excellent health. My body reflects the soul that's inside, and I feel proud and excited about my life. I'm in a constant state of flow and bliss, and I take the positive things in life and I magnify it and I exemplify it and I expand on it and I share it with others to help spread the good and the positivity throughout the world. And I'm an inspiration to millions of people, and I'm someone you could count on to do the right thing. As well, I'm a creator of possibilities and options, solutions and choices. I'm an example of what's possible. I'm an amazing entrepreneur. I'm a teacher, coach, speaker, writer, visionary, and strategic planner. I'm a leader and I understand marketing and sales, and I'm fun, spontaneous, and adventurous. I'm confident, attractive, and masculine. I'm a model for health and wellness, and I'm present in the moment and a good listener. I'm a source of positive energy. I help inspire and improve people's lives. I help support the earth. I transcend social conditioning. I have core confidence. I center myself in the present moment. I don't dwell on past events, and I don't worry about the future. I draw my state from within. I'm the source of great energy. I don't live vicariously through the environment or outside sources because I have control over my emotions, and I have a strong sense of reality, and I feel a high sense of entitlement because I'm worth it. I walk through the world with ease, and I never make things a big deal, and I addict myself to positivity and give value in every situation. And with that being said, that was the identity that I crafted from a lot of different sources. And you could craft your own identity. You could use, what I just said. It doesn't matter. Just like have something that you write down and that you can look at all the time. So now you have your vision, your purpose, your why, and your identity. You also have your perfect day, and you did the circle of life to evaluate where you are right now and what to focus on. And the last thing to do before actually getting into the part where you break down your goals into actionable steps and start working on them is to create something that most people really love, and that is your vision board. Okay guys, let's go into vision boards. Vision boards, firstly, they're freaking awesome because they take the words that you wrote down and they turn them into images. Now, we're very visual creatures, so doing this has a really big impact on our subconscious. And there are 3 reasons to make vision boards. So the first reason is because vision boards activate the creative powers of your subconscious mind, which is what runs 95% of your life. The second thing that vision boards do is program the perpetual filters in your brain to start noticing the available resources that are present in your environment. So for example, before I say this next sentence, you were probably not aware of what you're feeling in your left foot. However, now that you just heard that, your mind is now directed towards your left foot and you could feel it. It was always there, it just needed your attention. So vision boards will help you see the resources that are there and help to accelerate your journey towards success. The third thing that a vision board does for you is it helps to magnetize and attract you to the people, resources, and opportunities you need to achieve your goal. So here's exactly how I make my vision boards. The first thing I do is I go to canva.com and I open up a US letter document. Then I look up pictures of what I want my life to be on the internet and I import them into the Canva document. Then I type out one sentence below each picture that starts with I love and ends with, whatever the picture is about. So if it's a destination, I'll put I love doing something like I love taking a 2-week vacation every year to unwind and revamp for the next year. Then I print it out in color and I take it to the Office Depot or anywhere I could get it laminated. Once it's laminated, I put it in my shower and I look at the pictures and read the text every single day. And I actually have my vision board right here. It's pretty awesome. I look at this all the time. It's laminated in my bathroom, in my shower, and it's just freaking awesome. And so once you make your vision board and you do all of the other exercises, that we talked about so far, you really have everything. You have the backbone or the back end of what I believe to be a successful goal setting routine. All of this stuff from coming up with your vision and your purpose and your identity and getting clear with what your perfect day looks like, all of that is done in preparation before you get to writing out the action steps. That is what almost every goal setting technique actually covers. So since we did all of those things, we have found the foundation to really go as hard as we can with your goals because we understand that they align with your ultimate vision. So now let's get into actually writing out the action steps for your big goals so that you can have a solid game plan and know exactly what to do every single day to turn your vision into a reality. All right, so now it's finally time to break down your goals into actionable steps. And we're gonna do it in a way that you create goals and a game plan that will enable you to get more done in the next 3 months than most people do in an entire year. So just as a side note, I found that having a huge 30-day monthly planner like this one really helps for this. So I'll include a link to the one that I use in the description. Now, when most people think of setting goals, they usually think of setting 1-year goals and then designing the action steps needed to reach them. But the problem that I found is that in today's world, everything is just moving so fast that setting yearly goals simply doesn't provide the urgency and adaptability many of us actually need in today's fast-paced environment. So to take advantage of our ever-changing environment and shorter attention spans, we're gonna shorten the duration of our big goals from 1 year to 3 months. That means that instead of quarterly goals based off of a yearly schedule, we're going to create 3-month goals that act as big yearly goals. So this new way of thinking about goal setting actually comes from Brian Moran and Michael Lennington in their best-selling book, The 12-Week Year, which I totally love and highly recommend. Basically what you do is you create 12-week goals and then you break them down so that every 12 weeks you accomplish something great. And at the end of the year, you should have at least 4 things that completely took on a new life and are just so much better than before. So the 3-month or 12 weeks, that is actually a perfect amount of time because it's enough time to really get things done, and yet it's short enough to create the sense of urgency that we need to push ourselves. So by compressing your big goals down into 3 months, it really forces you to eliminate distractions and work on the major few that will have the greatest impact over your professional and personal life. So Tony Robbins, he has a great quote where he says, setting goals is the first step into turning the invisible into the visible. And right now, the visions you've written down, they're invisible. In this section, what you're gonna do is begin the process of creating specific goals and tactics so that you could turn that vision, all of those things that you just did, into a reality. Like I said before, this is where most goal setting exercises start. They start with SMART goals. These are the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. Your goals, they do need to be specific and measurable. You need to quantify and qualify what success looks like to you. So basically you need to answer how many and how much, while writing out your goals. Very important. Also, your goals need to be stated positively and affirmingly. Where the head goes, the body follows. You always move towards your goals. Don't try to move away from things. What you should say is that I will weigh 160 pounds if that's like what you want to weigh, as opposed to saying I want to lose 20 pounds, say I want to weigh X amount. It makes sense, right? So the third thing that you should know is that your goals, they should stretch your comfort zone. So basically you should keep your goals just a little greater than reasonable. You don't want to make your goals impossible. While it would be awesome to play in the NBA, if you're 5'7" and can't jump, it's probably not a smart goal. Also, a great thing to do is to assign accountability. If you're making your goals as an individual and they're solely your personal goals, then what you can do is you can assign personal responsibility and aim to tell someone about them. If the goals are within a team framework, then make sure that each individual knows exactly their roles in helping to achieve the goals that are set forth within the team. Finally, your goals should be time-bound. So there needs to be a specific deadline by what your goals are going to be reached. Like when are they going to be reached? There should be deadlines for each of your goals, and there should be deadlines for each of your tactics that you use to achieve your goals. It's like super important, or else they'll never happen, basically. So the first part of this exercise is really simple. You just list out your top 3 to 10 goals that you want to accomplish in the next 3 months that align with your ultimate vision. What you want to do is you want to make your goals realistic, but also big enough to where they will require you to stretch your comfort zone and bring forth really the very best of you in order to accomplish them. So you could look back and reread your vision to help formulate the goals that you want to achieve within the next 12 weeks or 3 months. So right now, pause the video and write out your top 3 to 10 goals that you want to achieve in the next 3 months. So here are my top 10 3-month goals. I want to make 3 videos a week, 1 on Cryptolete and 2 on Louis Raskin. I want to gain 200 YouTube subscribers on Cryptolete and 1,000 YouTube subscribers on this channel. I want to gain at least 1,000 TikTok followers on my Cryptolete TikTok. I want to go through and completely update my crypto mastery course. I want to sell at least 10 courses. I want to make intelligent and calculated trades that increase my portfolio, and I want to record every single one of them. And I want to sell 20 pairs of Cryptorays. So once you have your top 3 to 10 goals written down, what you want to do is you want to choose the top 1 to 3 goals that will help to propel you to your ultimate vision the most, and then you want to write down why they're important. So if you could have a wand and you just wave it and all of a sudden you accomplish any of these goals, that you just wrote down within the next 24 hours, which one goal would have the most positive impact on your life? This is the goal that needs to come first, okay? This becomes your major definite goal. This is what you always do, first thing in the morning. You do the action steps and the tactics needed to accomplish this goal first thing each day, 7 days a week, before moving on to the action steps for your second and your third goals. You might not even have other goals besides your one defining goal. And if not, then that's great, because the less the better, to be honest. My top 3 goals are having Cryptolete sell 10 courses and selling 20 pairs of Cryptorays and making 3 videos every single week. So now that you have your top 1 to 3 defining goals for the next 12 weeks, the next step to do is to write out your specific tactical steps with deadlines that you could use to achieve your 1 to 3 major goals within the next 12-week period. So this is how it's done. Basically, you write out your goal, and then underneath your goal, you write out the specific tactics you could use to accomplish it. Remember, you want to order your tactics in the most impactful way. So put the tactics that will have the biggest impact on your goal first, okay? I have different tactics for each of my goals. Things like create email sequences, because that will give me the best chance of getting more customers. My second is basically upload content on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn and Medium and all that stuff, because that will be another really big thing that helps to achieve my goals. What you want to do is you want to go through your top 1 to 3 goals and write out the tactical steps that you can take that will help you accomplish them. And if it ever seems like it's too much to handle, you actually can remember to bring it back to that ultimate vision that you set out for yourself in part 1 and your why. And that really should be enough to really propel you and give you the motivation to just do it, That's what it comes down to. And if you're ever writing out your tactics and you think you might struggle with any of the actions, or you think that there might be a cost that is a concern to you in order to execute these actions, or if you think that people or things will get in the way of you achieving your goals, now is the time to think about that and what you can do to overcome these struggles. So this really prepares you for your journey. And once you have your tactics and your action steps for each and every goal written down, one other thing you could do is to actually write down how accomplishing these goals and doing the necessary tactics will lead you to your ultimate vision. And this also gives you a lot of motivation, especially when you just don't want to do the tactics and the action steps necessary to achieve your goals. For me, I wrote down that making money by selling courses and glasses and obviously trading, will enable me to invest more. It'll help me start my real estate ventures. I'll have enough capital to optimize my diet and lifestyle, go to the Hippocrates Health Institute, Runga retreats, help my dad, and also help other people who are interested in trading and investing learn how to do so intelligently. So if you pause the video and go into that Google Docs that you should have downloaded by now, you could write down how accomplishing your goals will lead you to your ultimate vision. And if you do that, then you have your goals, you have the action steps you need to accomplish them, you have the reasons you want to do them, and you've connected it all the way back to your vision for your life that you want to create. So what I do now is I create a morning routine that sets me up for success that's based around all of these different things that I just went over. So now let's get into the morning routine. At this point, it should be pretty obvious why morning routines are so incredibly important. And if you aren't familiar with morning routines and you really want a book that could change your life, that talks all about morning routines, you need to read the book, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. So to sum it up, a morning routine is your time to really hone in and make sure that you start off the day on the right foot and make the most out of your day. My morning routine is smile, brush teeth, bathroom, shower, dress, green smoothie with multivitamin and supplements, go over my weekly schedule, 5-minute journal, recite affirmations, exercise for 2 minutes, go over goals and plan for the day, visualize and meditate, and then begin my one thing for the day. Then, and this isn't actually part of my morning routine anymore, but basically then I take a break to eat after about 4 hours, then I get back to my one thing, or I do what's on my calendar. I take another break for an hour, and then I do my final task for the day, and then I go into my nightly routine, then I go to sleep. So I highly recommend making both a morning and a nightly routine so that you could think of how you want to end your day and wind down before bed, because that definitely is important, and you could write that down as well. And once you have your morning and nightly routines figured out, it's really time to put down what you'll be doing on your calendar. And having a calendar is important because you need a calendar for your weekly blueprint, which you'll be making in a minute. And this is where you will plan out your perfect week or your perfect high performance week. And scheduling out your week is really crucial, because if you can't make something work on paper, then it has a near 0% chance of actually working in real life. Remember, clarity leads to mastery. And if you're clear with your vision, and you're clear with your goals, and you're clear with the tactics and action steps required to reach your goals, then it's time to get clear with when you will be executing these tactics. So a great way to think about how to structure your week, which will enable you to get a lot done without feeling overwhelmed, is to do what I call the one thing a day strategy. This is something that I like basically made up because it worked really well for me when I had like crazy ADHD and couldn't like ever get anything done. Basically, you already know what your tactics will be that will bring you closer to your goals and ultimately to your vision for your life, right? So using the one thing a day strategy, you want to take your tactics that you know you have to do each and every week, and you want to designate which day you will do that specific tactic. So as long as you get your one thing done every single day, your day was a success. And if any tactic requires more than one entire day to, complete, then you could simply break down that tactic into a few meaningful steps, and then you could use the steps, as your one thing to accomplish every day. Basically, the key here is to avoid overwhelm and avoid putting so much on your calendar that you end up not getting everything done, because putting too much on your calendar usually results in you moving whatever you didn't get done to the next day. And then it's like, do you ever really actually accomplish it? So basically what I found is that if you have the mindset that once you accomplish your one thing, you can and should move on to the other things you wrote down, but you make it so that the pressure is off because you did accomplish your one thing, Like I found that doing things this way, where you think like, I just need to accomplish my one thing, and then once I get my one thing done, I'll move on to the next things, but as long as I get my one thing done, my day is a success. I found that if you do that, it actually leads to more accomplishments because you feel empowered that you got your one thing done, and then that motivates you to get more things done. And then also, it honestly just helps you really hone in and focus, which is like rare, it's hard to do. So if you have one thing, it's like, I need to do this one thing, and you just focus on that, it's way better. So to bring it all together, what you do is the weekly blueprint, and this is how you do it. Number one, you plan your week with the weekly game plan, okay? You need to always have a weekly game plan, and you can create a weekly game plan Sunday night or Monday morning, and that's a great strategy. You wanna write it out and look at it each and every day so that you know what your week looks like. Number two is that you wanna score your week. So Sunday nights or Monday mornings are great times to do this. You could score your previous week and then plan out the next week ahead. And then number three is optional, but it helps, and that's to participate in some type of weekly accountability meetup where you have another person, that goes over your goals with you and basically holds you accountable. And so the best way to create your weekly blueprint is to think of the big things you want to accomplish and then create your week surrounding those things. So those are called your big rocks, and I'll explain what the big rocks mean, and then I'll go to the actual weekly blueprint calendar. Hey guys, so today I want to share not just a life hack, but a life philosophy that I thought was so cool, and it actually changed my perspective on how I want to live my life. So imagine that you have a big jar, you also got some big rocks, you got some pebbles, and you have some sand. What you want to do is you want to get all of these things into this jar. If you start with the sand and then go to the pebbles and then the big rocks, you can't fit everything in the jar. But if you start with the big rocks first and then put the pebbles in and then the sand, you can fit everything into the jar. In this analogy, the big rocks are your hopes and dreams. They're the big things that you want to accomplish in this life. The pebbles are your hobbies and leisure activities. And the sand is the mundane stuff, like checking emails, doing laundry, stuff like that. The jar represents each day. So fill your jar with the big rocks, because then you can fit everything in, and maybe even a little bit more than what you expected. And then to create your weekly blueprint, you could actually start out using the template in the Google Docs thing that's down below in the description. And that has the days of the week and then the different time slots on them. And so now that you understand like basically how to sort of create your weekly blueprint, let's actually go into that. Okay, so we are finally at the weekly blueprint, which is basically the blueprint for your week. That is the game plan that you will be following every single day. So now that you know about the big rocks, let's go into your weekly blueprints. So the first thing that you want to do when scheduling your week is to put your morning routine in whatever time slots line up with when you get up in the morning. So you want to block off 30 to 60 minutes in the morning to do your morning routine right away when you wake up so that you could set up your day for success. Then on Sunday night or Monday morning, you want to schedule in 30 to 60 minutes to review your score and your prior week, and then you could plan out the next week ahead. After you do that, you could put in any leisure time that you need to have, date nights, chill nights, whatever. And then you want to schedule in the time slots where you will be performing your most important tactics for your goals. So these should be blocks of time, 2 to 4 hours in length, where you could work without any distractions. And that means your phone is off or on silent, your notifications are off, you don't check your email or text messages, nor social media. And so your work blocks are where you dedicate 100% of your energy to the task at hand. And that's what you plan out in your calendar. And then you plan out anything else you could think of. And as a side note, one thing that really helped me in the beginning when I was starting to be more productive was to actually put alerts in my phone calendar to remind me of the tasks that I need to do. So since I wasn't used to it, I really needed to be constantly reminded. So having those alerts like in my calendar with all of my tactics in it, and it would go off and tell me exactly what I needed to be doing at that exact time so I could stick to that schedule. It was really helpful in the beginning. After you do that, you could actually, if you're still following along, first off, props to you. Second off, you could pause the video and you could fill in your weekly calendar now. And finally, we are at basically the last part of the life journal and this whole thing. And at this point, you know what your perfect day looks like. You know what you want to accomplish in 1, 5, 10, and 20 years down the line. You know where you are right now and what you should work on most. You have an ultimate vision for your physical body, mind and emotions, relationship, career, finance, social life, and spirituality. You have a purpose, an identity, and an understanding of why you want to do the things that you wrote down. You also have an actual vision board that will help you to visually see what you want in the future. You have a morning routine that you'll perform every morning to help you start out each and every day on the right foot. You have a nightly routine to help you wind down and sleep better. And you have practical goals and tactics that you could work on every single day to move you towards your ultimate vision. And also, you have every day for the week planned out in your weekly blueprint. And the last thing to do is to simply measure each and every week and check yourself on how well you're accomplishing your tasks. And to do that, every single week, you just go over the weekly awareness exercise. And well guys, that is pretty much it. So if you managed to get through this entire video, firstly, major props to you. Secondly, definitely smash that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And also tell me in the comments if you actually, either went through this exercise yourself or if you found it useful in any way, or if you thought about, the questions that I went over during this video, if it helped get any more clarity or anything in your life. That would be really, really cool to know. Other than that, yeah, let's just, let's take this opportunity to really just take anything that we have in terms of time and put as much effort as we can into improving our lives, learning as much as we can, and really taking care of ourselves and securing our future. I think that's really important for those of us who have the opportunity to do that. And also obviously pray for everyone in the medical field who is like out there on the front lines, you know, taking care of all of these overflowed hospitals with patients for the coronavirus. It's really important and it's a big deal. So other than that, stay positive. Always remember, you're awesome, stay awesome. And I hope to be making a lot more videos this year. I really, like I mentioned in this, you know, in my goal setting exercise, I want to be making at least 3 videos every single week. So at least 2 videos on this channel, 1 video on my other channel. I want to talk about finance, money, saving, investing, all of that good stuff, and also do some challenges where, you know, you will tell me, all right, what do you want to see, you know, in terms of how to make money, you know, online, or how to make money in like different ways. I think I have a lot of ideas, so it's going to be really cool. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. You're awesome. Stay awesome. And I'll see you in the next video.